Good morning, everyone. I have a couple, these are all relatively new pens in my collection, and they just happen to be sitting here on my desk, so I will wax poetic about them. I'm not much of a poet. Limericks are about as poetic as I get. So don't expect lots. But I got this one recently. This is a pen and pencil set, Sheaffer. It does have a name engraved on the band in very beautiful copperplate script. Floyd O. something or other. The last letter of the name is a little hard to understand. I think it's Holer, though the last name is the last letter is sort of looks like this. Is that an R or an N or an S? It's not very clear. Pen and pencil set, Sheaffer. It has a nice, excuse me, nice rubbery sort of nib on it. As a pen, though, as a pen design, it is about as simple as you can get. And most people, including me, might think this is pretty boring. And most people, including me, would be more or less correct. It's really pretty boring. You know, what can you say about it? It's pretty boring. Whereas this one, the Skyline, the Eversharp Skyline, this is snazzy. Now, snazzy is a perfect word to describe this pen because it has a design that's snazzy. It's a little snazzy there's a slight cheapness to it, like, you know, I don't know, it's snazzy. Simplicity, and it's a little showy and simplistic, but it's jazzy and sort of modern and hip. That's what this pen has. The guy that would own this pen, oh, my kitty's going to join us now. The person that would own this pen probably has a sports car and probably has a pair of shoes that are also snazzy. Now, I don't know what snazzy shoes look like, but he'd have them, this guy. This, too, has a nice rubbery nib, typical of many Skyline pens. This pen is a Wahl Eversharp pen, and this is neither snazzy nor boring. It's very elegant, masculine, and slightly, would I call it stoic? Kitty, what would you think? What do you think it would be? Yeah, you go find a spot somewhere on my desk that you can. There you go. Now get down. No, you're not going to push that on the ground. You've been very good about not doing that. I'm waiting to see all of my pens mysteriously on the floor some morning, except it won't be a mystery. We'll know what happened to them. So this pen has a sort of, it's a masculine and a little stoic. There's something about the straightness of the barrel and cap that, Kitty, yeah? The cat wants to join in. He's saying, why can't I be part of the fun? It's a little stoic. I suspect the man that would have this pen would have a matching cigarette case with the same sort of pattern to the metal, inscribed in the metal. There's nothing, this pen is not sexy. You know, this pen is sexy. This is sort of Cary Grant, and this is sort of, what's his name? Cooper, not Cooper. Oh, God, why can't I think? Cooper. Isn't that his name? Gary Cooper. This is sort of Gary Cooper, you know, a little stoic. This is a little flashy. What do you think, Kitty? Well, he just wants to get paid for being an actor, an unnamed actor. Stand-in, not a stand-in. Extra. He wants to be paid for an extra in this video. He's supplying a soundtrack in the background. His tail is going back and forth, making a little noise. I don't know if you can hear it. But when I have a group of pens in my hand, this is sort of what I'm thinking. You know, I don't think of factoids. Yes, I could look this up and figure out what this pattern was called and when this pen was made. I know it's a Wahl Eversharp pen, it says it right there. But, you know, I forget. What I used to know about pens, you could fill a rather small pamphlet. But now what I know about pens in terms of factoids could fit on maybe 3 or 4 fortune cookies. The things that interest me about pens are not the things that interest most pen people. Though I might find that I'll change my mind about that one day and relearn the things I've forgotten. This was brought up when I couldn't remember the name of a particular pattern of a pen, a particular plastic color. And ebonized radite was the official name by Sheaffer for a pen that I called abalone flecked, which to me, abalone flecked was more descriptive than ebonized radite. But it is interesting, though, that the names. See, there are some brain cells that are still working. One of them was the color blue. Marbleized blue for Parker was lapis. For Wahl Eversharp, that same blue color was lazulitic, something. They used the last name of lapis lazuli, lazulite. Mahogany was Conklin's wood grain term. So it can be interesting, but jet was Waterman's black. You could get it in jet. Oh, of course I can. Onyx, in onyx. Anyway, it can be interesting, but my brain is only so big, and those cells that had that information are not exercised very much. But this pen, as a pen version of Gary Cooper, I think is more interesting, a more interesting factoid, even if it's not a factoid, and even if I'm the only one that thinks that. I kind of like that idea. What do you think, Kitty? Oh, look at those claws. Oh, yes, Kitty. Oh, yeah. He has very sharp claws. If I thought to give him a manicure one day, I would be in the hospital. Ripped to shreds. Let's see if I can. There we go. Here's his little fat face. Oh, kitty. Oh. Should we do a quick picture of the little kitty? Don't move, kitty. Here's a little thumping going on there. Kitty, this is supposed to be you, but I'm not quite getting you. I know I'm drawing you upside down. Maybe that's the reason. Sometimes when I draw faces, it's easier when I draw them upside down. There was a guy that I drew once who was lying down, and his head was upside down with respect to me, leaning over the posing platform. It's like if he were on a bed. His body was on the bed and he was facing upward, and his head was trailing over the side of the bed. That was the view I had. And by drawing him upside down, I didn't fall into the problems that you get when you're drawing the face, where you draw the eyes here and nose in the middle, and I was essentially drawing this weird collection of, oh, kitty, you moved. Weird collection of shapes and shadows and stuff. So it turned out to be a better likeness. I turned it over, I said, yeah, that looks like him. So sometimes drawing an upside down kitty is a good idea. Oh, I know, kitty. I know. Anyway, I don't have anything else to say. Goodbye. Say goodbye, kitty. Bye.